into that topic. We're going to jump right into that topic. Yes. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay, Nadine. Okay. What happened to our session? What session, Giselle? We should have had a session. I don't know. Did you book your session? Do not blame me, Giselle. Authentic Sheena. How you doing? Sun shining over there. Look at you. Huh? Let's see what's happening over here. What happened to you, our Facebook people and YouTube persons? All right. But good that you have sun over there. Good that you have sun over there. Right? It's good that you have sun over there. So yes, we're gonna go into this one. Keisha, how you doing? Wonderful. Hi, Sexy Mel. Sexy Mel, how you doing? Yeah, it's a blessing, don't? It's always a blessing. To have life is a blessing. That we say, to have life itself is a blessing. Yeah. So we want to give God thanks for that, today. Yes, so as I said, I'm going to talk a little bit today about career and family, because I think sometimes we tend to have a challenge with the balancing aspect of things. Hi, Sonia, how you doing? Yeah, we have a challenge with the balancing aspect of things. And we want to ensure, big up yourself too. We want to ensure that, we are striking that very necessary balance right there, right? Because both things are important, right? Both things are important. The career is important, the family is important, right? So both are important. Both things are important, and we don't want to have to trade anything. I trade. How you doing? Look here, me cannot take these names. Me telling about these names. What's this pump underscore whole thing? When you change the names, man, yeah, you can't use these names. These names are good, right? Yes. So is there a balance between? Can we have a good balance between? Let me focus on you and IG because I don't see the persons over here coming on yet on YouTube. Let me get my glasses touched a little bit because some water catch it ran in the rain just now. So it's a little, my visibility is obscured. So permit me to clean my glasses just a bit. I was running to get to you guys, because I knew you would be waiting. Good. Right. So we're saying, are both things good? Career and family, certainly. They are both good. That's what we're saying. Both of them good, right? So we're not throwing out anything. We're just trying to learn how to balance both things, right? Because I don't think that when a person gets a career or becomes trained for a career, that it's inviting a conflict. It cannot be inviting a conflict. Yes, so it really should be about the balance that we really try to have, right? And so, and there's a balance. I'm balancing, so it's possible, right? So we have to know how to do the balance, right? Setting the boundaries. We have to be able to be relying on persons and that kind of a thing to ensure that we get there. But it's okay to be a mother and a career person. It's okay to be a daddy and a career person. I know that men are primarily created for work, right? And we could have considered that we are nurturers. Females, we are in the mind of God, we are nurturers, but notwithstanding that, we could also work, because we see in the Proverb 31 woman was an industrious woman who, the Bible says, she sees a field and she buys it. And she has maidens. That means she had people who work with her and work for her. I can't show you do it. Right? So you can be a career person, male or female, career husband or wife, and balance and have a good family life. Now, of course, it's not going to be without challenges, right? It's not going to be without challenges, but I have been doing this for some years now, so I know that it is possible to do it. You understand? It's possible to do it. It's just to know how to prioritize what is important at the time, right? Because everything is important, but not everything of the same importance at the particular time. So if you're a career person, when you're at work, it's work. When you're home, you have to try to pay attention to home, because Time and place for everything. No, so when you talk to me, time and place for everything, right? So you can have the best of both worlds. So what you have to do now is to balance, set boundaries and balance. Please feel hot. Yeah, set boundaries. AC is on. It's just the summer is so hot, right? So you have to first build. You have to build this bond with your family, right? And you want to be remain invaluable to your family throughout your life. You understand? I generally say at the end of my days, bishop, doctor, justice, and all of the letters behind my name, they are not going to serve me when I am older and I've demitted possibly this office. What is going to serve me or who is going to serve me well at that time is going to be my family. So I cannot neglect them in pursuant of a career path. Hi, Trevane. Hi, Tez. Oh, yes, you're over here on YouTube, right? So I cannot neglect my family. So we're discussing today, for those who are just joining, Andrea, what's up? We're discussing balancing career and family, right? Is it a conflict? No, it does not. It does not have to be a conflict. It's just how you balance, right? Livewire, you have joined us, right? And so I guess it has to stem from the bond that you are going to build with your family in the initial stages, because that is going to be invaluable at the end of the day, right? You will be cherished long after your professional accomplishments have failed. Because at some point in time, I know Bishop is no longer going to serve me. People might still call me Bishop, but might not be operating as a bishop, right? Doctor is not going to serve me. I mean, it's something that I have earned, so I will have the title to use. But will I be actively in it all the time? No, right? But being a mother, being a wife, being a grandmother, being a sister or a brother, those are the things that are going to serve me in life up to my grave. So I cannot afford to set them aside because of my career. And let me tell you something, I've said it before. Your career must never come before your family. If you're choosing to have a family, get your priorities straight. Career cannot be first. Everybody enters into a relationship to be first. So your career can never be first. So it doesn't matter how career driven you are, your spouse, your family comes first, and they must always feel first. So what you have to do is to set boundaries in place. Yeah, to balance the work and the family life as a parent. If you're a parent, yeah, you have to set the boundaries on both ends of the spectrum. Set the boundaries at the career. So when you're coming home from work, you don't carry home the work. When I leave out of this office, I leave the clients and their business up here. When I leave over the ministry, I leave the ministry over there. Does it mean that I don't get up and pray for them? No, it doesn't mean that. I do that, but I don't allow it to interfere with my times with my husband, my time with my children, my time with my grandchildren. So you can balance, but you have to put the boundary in place, right? So leave work at the office, right? And take effective breaks. That's one of the things I learned during COVID, when so many couples were pulling apart and were very antagonistic and resentful towards each other because they never had to spend so much time with each other. Do you know that? I don't know if any of you experienced that during COVID, where you never used to work so close with your spouse. You never in the space with your spouse for such long periods, till it became overbearing. It was just too much. It felt claustrophobic. It's like they were always breathing down your neck, but you had to share the same space. I've seen persons get separated because of that, right? So what I learned to do and what I taught persons to do during COVID was to take breaks. And so you have to take necessary breaks. Why are you sweating so hard? Why are you sweating so hard? Yeah. So yeah, you have to learn to take necessary breaks as you set the boundaries. So the boundaries are: when you're going home, no work. When you're going to work, leave the family. I mean, you cannot really separate yourself from the family per se. You're going to remember them when you're at work, but you can't be on the phone managing your family or telling them what to cook. These are things you must do when you're at home. You understand? Or you're going to do it on your lunchtime or during your break time. So the boundaries must be there for work. So work gets the attention that work needs to get, right? You can't rob the employee of their time. I don't want nobody to rob me of my time, so I'm not teaching you to do that. So you make work, right? And then when you leave work, then you make home. If when you're in your lunch hour, you want to touch base with home, you want to call and give an instruction to your helper or your spouse or your children, that's fine. You go ahead and you do that, right? Because you're not on your employee's time, your employer's time. At that time, you're on your earned time, right? But when you go home now, don't take home the work. Teachers do that a lot. Any teachers on this platform, you do that a lot. You know, you take home the paper them for grade and the lesson plan to write and all of these things. Why? When does your spouse get the time to be with you, to enjoy you? When does your children get the time so that they can come and tell you all that is happening in their world? Yeah? And even your adult children, when do they get the time to come and tell you what going on in their marriage or their relationship? When do they get that time? You understand what I'm saying? So doctors as well, right now, yes. The doctors must leave the stethoscope at work. That's all I'm saying. Leave the things at work and give priority time to your spouse. You understand? You can't be at home and you have to be on the phone because you're working. And so leave work at the office and balance your time. Know what and when to prioritize. It's important. Know when and what to prioritize, man, so that you can enjoy and that you're sustaining that family bond so that when they get fired, God forbid, or you retire, somebody will pay some attention. Because if you're not paying them attention now, they're not going to pay you attention later. You understand? That's why I make time for my children. I make time for my family. Because I am cognizant that I am going up the ladder in age. And I will not always be sitting behind this desk and talking to you guys. I'll be in a rocking chair somewhere learning how to crush and sipping mint tea. And those times, I want to know that my family love and appreciate me because of all that I have done. Family come first, right? And ask for help. Ask for help, especially you men. Tez. Yes, ask for help. You can't do everything. Nobody should be expected to do everything. You understand? So when you can't do the thing anymore, or when the workload is too heavy, ask for help. Yes, these are boundaries you are putting in place to ensure that you can enjoy the best of both worlds. You can give your best at work, give it everything that you have got, everything that you're qualified for, everything that you're trained for, everything that you're employed to give. You give it when you are at work. Yes? But you have to set the boundaries to so your employers know when it's your time. You understand? Because employers always have something to give for do. I'm an employer. I know that. Right? We always have something to give for do, you know. I'll tell my staff, listen, I will send messages to you in the night. You do not have to respond to the message until tomorrow morning when it's your work time. It's just that if I am up and working, I will probably send you some messages. I tell them, don't respond to it. I'm not asking you to respond unless it's an emergency. Yeah, especially when the help is eager and available, marvelous. Yeah, when the help is there, ask for the help. Shen, yeah, I Tashai, how you doing? So ask for the thing, man. Ask for the help. Ask for the help. Yes, because you don't want your family to suffer because of your professional life. Because you're out there making the bread. Your family is suffering. And saying, we don't have the time to talk to you right now. No, you have to make the time. It is essential to consciously give effort and priority to your family. You understand? Because the balance is possible. The balance is possible, right? Put a schedule in place. What we call them something there. To-do list. And use up the ladies them. What them name? Siri and Alexa. Use them up and Google Calendar and all of these things that you have at your disposal. Use them up to help you to set a schedule. You understand? Some of you say schedule, right? Use it up so that use up those things that are available to you. It's not like once upon a time where whenever anybody help and God bless if you not write it down, we would not have a way of balancing. But you have the means now to balance your life and to ensure that your career does not interfere with your family time and that family time does not interfere with your career. And if you are to choose what is going to interfere with what, make it family, okay? Yes, asking for clarification and assistance can greatly enhance communication and understanding. That came from Sir Tesaro over there on YouTube. Yes? Right. You understand? And you need to understand that through your words and your actions, your children and your spouse should know that they are a priority in your life. You can't be silent and expect them supposed to know because it's them working the money and carry it home to give. No, please to speak. Please to speak so that we can know. We can know what's happening. We can know how you're thinking about us. Let us not have to assume anything. You understand? So we want you to know. We want to know what is happening. We want to know what's going on behind the scene, what's going on in the brain space. Yes? And can I tell you something? Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Learn when not to have to do it because it's either out of respect for your boss or, something. Hi, Yannick, how you doing? Hi, Kirkpatrick, how you doing, sir? Wonderful. You understand? Learn when to say no. How to say no, and just unplug. Unplug from everything that is a distraction. Yeah, and talk. Tazara said it. Him said, communicate, man. You have to communicate the needs that you have. Talk to, whether it is your children, your spouse, or your boss. Talk to them about it. Yeah, and then you have to also, I'm thinking about it, core values. If you know what those are and you are implementing those, you understand? Peace of mind, your quiet time, your respect of space and boundaries, and those kind of a thing. If those are your things, then you need to implement them from the get-go. Like I tell persons, you go to work for a company, you attend church on a Saturday or a Sunday. You don't think it's important for your employee, so you have a worship time. But because what you're afraid to get fired, they must respect your times as well. You understand? We know we have flexi work week and all of those things. No. But they can know too that, I worship on a Saturday or a Sunday, so I'm going to need these times. So even if you can't get every weekend, you can negotiate for every other weekend. But it can't be that you can't even find time for worship God because something else consumes the whole of you. What about your life after the work don't serve you? Eh? Just don't tell you no. Sheila said, send them to me if you don't know how to say no. Oh, send the people them to you if they don't know what to say. Because some people can't say no, don't it? Yeah, and it do, no, look here, Sheena K, I'm glad that you said this. It does not require an explanation to external persons. Can I tell you something? This is important. Tweet this. Yes and no are complete sentences. They don't need an explanation. Yes and no are complete sentences that does not require an explanation. So when you say no, if you're in your rights, you shouldn't have to explain yourself. When you say yes, possibly nobody not asking you for it. You understand? So I'm saying you can have a fulfilling career and you can have a fulfilling family life as well. Right now, roles have changed. Everybody working, everybody out there earning because the mortgage have to pay. You understand? Well, lifestyle different from what it was once upon a time. We're more high maintenance and all of those things. Hi, Lydia, how you doing? Yeah, we are more high maintenance, so it requires that both of us work, plus the goals that we have set for our lives and our family. It requires the two hands and hearts together, so we will be both out there working. Some of us, the both of us coming in at the same time. I used to come in after Elder would leave work at 5 and I'm still working at 7 or 8, so he knows that if he comes in and I'm not there, yeah, you understand, he's going to pick up the slack. What I say, Candy Crush? True, man, because some manager in the call center don't understand themselves at times. They need to hear these words. True, next week I tell them, John, even though I might be doing something different next week. But it's true. Send them this, let them watch it. It is true. We must allow for persons to. By the way, employers need to know that if the home life of your employees are good and peaceful and balanced and sated as much as possible, you get greater work productivity. That's why they need to invite me into the workplace to talk about balancing home and family life. Because once you ensure you take a keen interest in the life of your employees, that's what human resource managers are supposed to be doing anyway, right? Take an interest, look out for the benefit of the employee. And if it is that the home life of the employee is okay, I laud the companies who reach out to us for counseling with their employees to help them to sort out their home life because they understand the importance of getting greater work productivity from the employees when it is that their home life, because home life full of problems too, Husbands and wives have lots of conflicts and challenges. Children who are disobedient and wayward and all of that. And when you're never ready for children and you're worse, never ready for marriage. So whole heap of things. But if the employers take an avid and active interest in your life, then you'll be happy to come to work. You'll be happy to give them 9 hours, 8 hours, whatever the hours are, and you'll probably punch in a little overtime, or when they ask to do something on the extra on the side, you'll do it because you feel that they consider important. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. So you can explore some options with your company. I don't know if you have the right to talk. I mean, you have the right, you always have the right, but I don't know if you have the privilege of talking to your employees. Yeah, but you can explore some options with them. Yeah, in terms of your worship time and your work time when you're supposed to go home, and you always have to go home, and you have to take up your weekends and go work because you have to meet certain targets and all of those things. I trust that you're appreciated for these things. Yes, but do not neglect your family is all I'm saying. Don't neglect your family for your career. Your family at the end of the day, when you retire from your career or when you become sick, incapacitated, or they lay you off, the career, the company is going to continue on. But what if your family lay you off? What if your family decides that you never had parents no attention? I've seen that, I've seen children who don't pay attention to the parents because they were never a priority. They never felt like a priority. Don't allow that to happen to you. Yes, I want to ensure that at the end of my working days in my profession, that I can sit in my rocking chair and my children can feel pleased to have me by them. They are not resentful of me. They are not antagonistic towards me, but they are happy. Not just my children, but the people around me. I want them to feel inclusive. I want them to feel like, I love them. And so I'll do what I need to do. And also understand that setbacks are there. Not everything is going to flow smoothly and hunky-dory with life and career. But if you put the necessary things in place, if you put the boundaries in place, if you start the conversation from early, if you ask for help, right? If you prioritize when it's the work time as opposed to when it's the home time, and you prioritize when it's the home time and stuff like that. If you put these boundaries in place, if you make your core values known, if you apply understanding like Sir Tezara said earlier, right? If you have the conversations and you make known what your thoughts are towards the things, and as employees, if you're listening, if it is that you prioritize your staff, yes, if you try to find out what's happening at home, if you see them come and they're not operating at their optimum best, that you know that they can and they have been, find out what is happening. If we do all of these things, we can have thriving careers and thriving family lives. God wants you to have the best of both. Yes? And it might not be equal apportioned, but you can enjoy a certain quality of life and a certain quality of career life. So balancing home and the family is definitely doable. You understand? You just have to know how to do it, when to do it. The wise man Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 3, there's a time and a purpose for everything under the sun. Time for family, time for work. Yes? And so when you do both things in the appropriateness of the time, you will find that you maximize yourself and them, and you'll feel better for having done it too. Because when you balance a thing and you take your own little time and you do the thing, you will feel better about yourself as well, and you'll feel more energized and ready to go at whatever it is, whether it's parenting, being a wife, being a husband, or being an employer or an employee. That's it for now from Love and Line. Let me remind you to register for the upcoming cohort of the gym in any one of the classes, the MRI, which is the Marriage Readiness Intelligence. So if you're planning to get married, you want to know more about marriage and how to do relationships and more about yourself and how to embrace your singleness, then the Marriage Readiness Intelligence is for you. And thank you so much, Candy Crush. Right, and if it is that you're a couple and you want to take the M&M, yes, that's the marriage maintenance course, then you can register for that too. Or if you're wives who your husband's always talking about, or you think you talk to them, then we have a course for you how to speak to your husband will listen. And of course, we have a course for the husband too, loving your wife in a Christ-centered way. And then our marriage coaching certification program. That's the one. If I certify you, you know you're certified, right? Definitely. So you can register for that and join us this Saturday. Deborah's Courtyard is going to be live online on all of these social media platform at 7 a.m. It's an early morning thing. It doesn't stay late, right? So join us online or just drive up here to Temple Palm Gardens, right? And sit for the flow, right? And enjoy breakfast in the same space. We have some wonderful pastries coming your way this Saturday morning. All right. Take care of yourself. And remember, balance the thing. It's not just portion was here for balance it. You must balance it too. She was a wife and a mother. She knew how to do it. Oh, happy to be here. Hi, Sir David. How you doing? So we're balancing everything, right? Love and life. Don't allow life to get in the way of love. Yes? Let love prevail. God bless you. Take care. I'll see you when I see you. Saturday morning, Sunday morning, tonight in Word Power. Yes, if you want the link, you can ask. Or